you knew Summer very well, Allie. I mean, you, the real live Summer, the one that, you got to hug her and watch her run, watch her laugh, watch her cry. I'm sure, you knew the real little girl. And, um, can you tell us a little bit about her, about, like, I, I used to try to get Candace and Donald to tell me about, Summer and talk about her. Like, I seen all the pictures of you guys at the water hole and in the boats and her out there on the inner tubes, and I seen you guys fishing and just all kinds of things you guys did together. Maybe you
She's
can.
she's such a sweet little girl. She's so lovable and you know very loving. She brightened my day every day that I got to see her.
Absolutely. You know, I
She's
took
like one of
notes.
my own, and
She
she'll always
really.
be. She'll always be like one of my own.
So how was it? I mean, when you guys went out to the water hole out there and to boat and stuff. I mean, how was Summer? I mean, how did she react to all of it?
She loved it. She loved getting in the water, splashing, playing with the kids. You couldn't keep that little girl out of that water.
And
You can't keep my kids out of the water.
I seen you guys in the boat, and she was out there on a big inner tube. Do you remember that?
Yep, I had bought the inner tubes at Walmart, and she had to have one.
Yeah, she was
She
out there.
just she was floating and swimming with it. Being a big girl, she loved it. She'd
Who,
sit there and she had the cutest little laugh.
I bet you still hear it, don't you?
Oh yeah,
Who put the floaty things on her arms?
I did.
You were kind of like I'm not, it's not to be disrespectful. Well, I don't care about Candace personally. I mean, if other people care about Candace, then more power to you. But PG don't. I don't care for Candace at all. I don't let that side of me. I don't try to hide it. Absolutely, I don't. I don't care for her at all. But it seemed like you and Grandis were kind of those kids' angel as in watching over them. Yes.
Yep.
Um, can you tell us a little bit about some of the things that you all did together?
She loved going hiking. We went hiking at Laurel Run Park, and there's waterfalls that you can hike up to, and she would love it. She'd stop and look at the bugs along the way, the flowers. She loved the water. Crazy kid.
Hello, everyone. So, what I want to do this morning is, my camera's off because we're decorating for the Halloween live I'm going to do on Halloween night. Hopefully, my daughter keeps taking my decorations. She's pissed off because I'm not putting them outside. So, we'll see how this goes. So, it's a mess behind me. All right. So today's live, what I want to do, I'm early today because I slept all night like a baby. Um, I edited before going to sleep. Hi, Victoria. Good morning. Before going to sleep, I edited PG's first live to not include her commentary. I figured we could watch her commentary on her channel. I am going to get to that. This may be an extremely long live. In front of me, I have Ajan's court document that I want to read to you guys. I've brought this up before. Kathy, Fred, and Ziggy has since disappeared from speaking to me or really about me. And I'm curious as to why. I think you guys will find this interesting. I never read these court documents to you guys. I just sort of talked about it a little bit. This goes in with the quantum stuff. Okay. I find it very important. And then on top of that, let me switch this here a little bit just for a second. Ooh, I found a bunch of, I guess, let me click on one and show you. Let's find a good one. There's a certain one. I don't know which one it is. Okay, let's just... If you go here, this is a bunch of people who at the time and things in Tennessee that were going on and people connected to the drug bust that James Light was involved in. Now, let me tell you guys, I value my life, okay? I'm just going to read public indictments. I'm not digging any deeper into this. It's scary shit. However, Squall has brought it out. So let me come back to my chat. I feel it's important. Hey, Tic Tac. Yeah, I had a good night's sleep and did a bunch of research yesterday in my downtime. I needed that. But I'm not going to research these people. Okay? I'm just going to bring it up and read it to you because Squall brought it out and made such a huge deal of it. I think that public information we should read, but there is a lot here. It's going to be a lot of reading. I may stop in between and take breaks, or I might have some play HT points. Maybe I'll copy and paste and throw it and play HT for us to listen to some of it. But I'm going to start with this indictment. It's a 42-page... Where'd it go? Indictment. United States District Court. You know what? Let me light a cigarette. Let's smoke a bowl because this is, like I said, going to be a lot of fucking reading. And I definitely got to go over the prayer garden stuff too. When I get there, Andrew, I guess he had unblocked me because I was able to tag him in that post. And then after I posted the post, I got blocked again. So I don't know if he or Fat Lips did it. But I have some really important questions that are not attacking to Andrew about some of Prayer Garden's commentary last night concerning the biker gang and cameras that Allison placed in her house. And I have some thoughts on that, and I don't want to speak on it right now. We'll do it when we get to PG. I, however, think this stuff is more important, more relevant. I think Prayer Garden starts a lot of shit. I also want to say there were 2 points in her live last night where a child walked into the room. The first one, I don't think it sounded real, but the second one, to me, in my opinion, sounded like she bit a bite of Allison's little girl. Because I remember Allison's little girl saying that just like that. And when the little girl comes on, it sounds just like the girl Prayer Garden had. Go, hey, everybody. So I'm going to compare that later. All right. Now, let me hit this bowl. How are you all this morning? Tic Tac, Victoria, the 2 people that want to chat, and the 16 in the bushes. Oh, guys, we got a lot to talk about. I'll read just a little bit. On January 30th, 2000, I'll read what we can see because I'm on my chat screen and I got to pack my bowl. On January 30th, 2006, Alan Mark Ajan, petitioner or Ajan, a federal prisoner, filed petition under, I'm not going to read, I'm going to skip through court jumbo, to vacate, set aside, or correct sentences by a person in federal custody. Attached to the petition was a letter in which petitioners sought additional time within which to file a memorandum to support his petition, doc, whatever. On March 3rd, 2006, Ajan filed a motion to amend pursuant to Rule 12. Okay, we'll stop there. Some interesting names in this. Isn't there, Miss Gordon? Ziggy. Fred. Any one of y'all are welcome to grab a link. I put one there so we could talk about this. I'm not turning my camera on. Puff, puff, pass. All right. Which to file a memorandum in support of his petition on March 3rd, 2006, Ajan found a motion to amend. We're just going to skip all the rules. He seeks an evident, I don't know why that did that, opposition to petition October 17th, 2007, and a petitioner filed a motion to supplement along with 2 supporting affidavits on October 22nd, 2007. On February 6, 2008, Ajan filed a 54-page reply to the government's response. On April 23rd, 2009, Ajan filed a second motion to supplement his petition. The matter is now ripe for disposition. The court has determined that the files and records in this case conclusively establish that the petitioner is not entitled to relief as to all issues raised by him except for the issue he raised pertaining to United States, on which the court will receive further briefing and discuss below. The record likewise establishes that no evidentiary hearing is necessary, and Ajan's request for an evidentiary hearing will be denied. However, counsel will be appointed to represent this opinion and ordered will, dispose of all issues raised by Ajan save the one raised pursuant to blah 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 for the reasons which follow the petitioner's blah 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 lack merit and motion will be denied in its entirety except for single issue raised under Combs whatever. In addition, Ajan's April 23rd, 2009 motion to supplement will be denied. Procedural background. Ajan was indicted by the federal grand jury on July 23rd, 2002, along with defendants George H. Simpson and John Vance Bowers. Hi, Kathy. Ajan was charged in court, 1 with conspiracy to distribute and possess with the intent to distribute 5 grams or more of methamphetamine, and count 2 with conspiracy to distribute and possess with the intent to distribute quantity of the methamphetamine. Lesser included offense of count 1 and count 3 with the possession with the intent to distribute 5 grams or more of the methamphetamine, and count 4 with possession with the intent to distribute a quantity of methamphetamine, a lesser included offense of count 3, and count 6 with distribution of quantity of a mixture substance containing a detectable amount of methamphetamine, and count 7 with brandishing a firearm during the relation to a drug trafficking offense, and count 8 with conspiracy to commit kidnapping, and count 9 with aiding and abetting kidnapping, and count 10 with aiding and abetting possession of a firearm. In furtherance of kidnapping, a crime violence, on December 19th, 2002, a jury found the defendant guilty, counts 1, 3, 6, 7, 9. On April 29th, 2003, Ajan was sentenced to terms of imprisonment of 262 months. The bottom of the guidelines range 2 on drug and kidnapping offenses. To run, you know what? I'm just going to come back to chat for a minute. What do you think? Ziggy, Fred, Kathy, you out there? I stopped Allison where I stopped her on PG's because Candace loved to take Summer to Laurel Run. These are the facts. that Prayer Garden skips over. Okay. She has stated that she didn't know about these recordings. Only 100 people seen them. They humanized Allison. You hid them. I remember the first one you showed. I was one of those 100 people that seen it. Do I have it? I don't know. I don't think so. But you put it behind a member wall. You hid it. You privated it. And then, after the woman passes away, you get on and you demean her. As a Christian woman, I'm not that religious, Prayer Garden. I believe in God. I've been taught the Bible. My grandmother was a Catholic. And up until my dad's lawsuit win and us moving to Miami, we lived with her. They separated the first time the day before I made my first communion. So I was taught the Bible. As a teenager, I told you I grew up in Glassport. I grew up in the Assembly of God Church. Okay? I went to every youth group. I went to church 3 days a week because my mom was shit, and that's how we ate. And it was fun, and my friends were there. We went to Missionettes, which was on Tuesday. We had a youth group on Wednesdays. And then on Sundays, we had church. So I've learned the Bible. I've also met a lot of people just like you in that church. Okay? Now, something else I want you guys to catch up on. She preaches Christian, but she uses words like elders. Go to your church. Go see your elders. Go talk to your elders. That's Presbyterian or LDS. A bunch of Arabic religions use the word elders. Most Christians do not. Like if you're talking traditional Christian. In my opinion, Prayer Garden's a fake LDS. That's my opinion. Now, with that said, she had some good points the other night that I actually agree with. I appreciate how loving she was to Duty Ron in her prayers. I'm not saying Prayer Garden is all bad. However, she spreads a lot of bullshit. But let's go back to this just for a second. Just so you can hear this little piece again. The first clip here. I want you to hear where Ellison says Summer loved to go.
You knew Summer very well, Allie. I mean, you, the real live Summer, the one that, you got to hug her and watch her run, watch her laugh, watch her cry. I'm sure, you knew the real little girl. And can you tell us a little bit about her, about, like, I used to try to get Candace and Donald to tell me about, Summer and talk about her. Like, I seen all the pictures of you guys at the water hole and in the boats and her out there on the inner tubes, and I seen you guys fishing and just all kinds of things you guys did together. Maybe you can.
She's such a sweet little girl. She's so lovable and very loving. She brightened my day every day that I got to see her.
Absolutely. I
She's
took
like one of my own. She'll always be like one of my own.
So how was it? I mean, you guys went out to the water hole out there and to boat and stuff. I mean, how was Summer? I mean, how did she react to all of it?
She loved it. She loved getting in the water, splashing, playing with the kids. You couldn't keep that little girl out of that water.
And
you couldn't keep my kids out of the water.
I seen you guys in the boat, and she was out there on a big inner tube. Do you remember that?
Yep, I had bought the inner tubes at Walmart, and she had to have one.
Yeah, she was out there.
She was floating and swimming with it, being a big girl. She loved it. She'd sit there and she had the cutest little laugh.
I bet you still hear it, don't you?
Oh yeah.
Who put the floaty things on her arms?
I did.
You were kind of like, I'm not, it's not to be disrespectful. Well, I don't care about Candace personally. I mean, if other people care about Candace, then, more power to you. But PG I don't care for Candace at all. I don't let that side of me. I don't try to hide it. Absolutely, I don't care for her at all. But it seemed like you and Grandis were kind of those kids' angel, as in watching over them. Yes.
Yep.
Can you tell us a little bit about some of the things that you all did together?
She loved going hiking. We went hiking at Laurel Run Park, and there's waterfalls that you can hike up to, and she would love it. She'd stop and look at the bugs along the way, the flowers. She loved the water.
Run concurrently with the statute mandatory consecutive 384 months on the convictions count 7 and 10 for a total sentence of 646 months imprisonment. Ajan's convictions and sentences were affirmed on direct appeal by the 6th Circuit Court of Appeals on December 15th, 2004. United States versus Simpson. Petitioner then filed a petition for writ of certiorari, I don't know that word, in the United States Supreme Court, which the court denied January 24th, 2005. Ajan versus United States. Petitioner's pro se petition for rehearing was denied by the Supreme Court on March 21st, 2005. Ajan versus United States 554 petition was then timely filed January 30th, 2006. Factual background. Let me get a drink. Sorry. The following statements of facts is taken from the government's brief. The trial evidence is summarized in part in the Court of Appeals decision. See Simpson 116F. These are just other things you can look up. You can zoom in and see it. Guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. Eric Elford, an officer with the Kingsport, Tennessee Police Department, testified that he stopped petitioner for drunk driving on November 26, 2000. As a result, petitioner was arrested. A search of petitioner's vehicle incident to his arrest resulted in a seizure of quantity of white powder and a cigarette pack, digital skills, and a box of baggies. Elford also found a cell phone in a vehicle and called the last number dialed, reaching co-defendant George Simpson without identifying himself. Elford told Simpson that the petitioner, Ajan, had passed out and needed help. Simpson responded that the petitioner was his boss and told Elford to bring petitioner to Coastal Mart on Bloomingdale, where Simpson would meet him. Kingsport officer Mike Hickman was dispatched to the market to meet Simpson. The white powder found in petitioner's car was analyzed by an employee with Tennessee Bureau of Investigation Crime Laboratory, who tested that it was 22.2 grams of methamphetamine. DEA Special Agent Mike Stedman testified in his opinion, a person stimulously possessing 22.2 grams of methamphetamine, plastic baggies, and digital skills would be engaged in distribution of methamphetamine. On cross-examination, Stedman calculated that 22 grams of 22% pure methamphetamine would produce 800 dose units. Returning to the events of November 26, 2000, Officer Hickman responded to the Coastal Mart at around 10 p.m. to meet Simpson. In due course, Hickman observed two men wearing camouflage coveralls and bulletproof vests and carrying binoculars and two-way radios. Hickman engaged them in conversation, asked for identification, and one man identified himself as George Simpson. Hickman asked the two men for permission to pat them down, to which they consented. Hickman retrieved a loaded .38 revolver from Simpson. 2 weeks later, on December 8, 2000, Curtis McDavid, Ernest Lynn White, and Ricky Howe met at Hog Wild Saloon, a bar across the street from Westside Motel in Kingsport, Tennessee, where White had rented a room for the night. After the bar closed, the three men went to White's motel room to drink a few beers at about 2:30 a.m. McDavid and Howe left to wait for a taxi, but when it did not return to the room, entering through the sliding glass doors during McDavid and Howe's absence, petitioner and co-defendants Simpson and Bowers had entered White's motel room. When they initially entered the room, petitioner, dressed in black and wearing black gloves, struck White on the head with a walkie-talkie. Petitioner displayed a pistol and demanded $150 from White in payment for a drug debt involving an 8-ball of methamphetamine. See Simpson 116F, and I'm going to look for that. At trial, White explained the facts underlying the methamphetamine debt that he owed petitioner. Vance Bowers had introduced White to petitioner for about 3 weeks. Both White and Bowers worked for the petitioner in his excavation business, which petitioner operated from his home. There was not much excavation work being done, and there were a lot of people who came to petitioner's business who were not excavation customers. Petitioner owed White about $150 for 3 days of work at the excavation business. White testified 3 or 4 days prior to December 9th, 2000, petitioner gave White an 8-ball of crystal meth as a payment for the hours that White had worked. However, Officer Melanie Church, the Kingsport police officer who interviewed White the morning after his kidnapping, testified that White told her he had gone to petitioner on December 4th, 2000 to get drugs for a friend, and that he had been fronted the drugs and would owe the petitioner $180 later. Melanie Church, I don't know. When McDavid and Howe re-entered White's motel room and encountered petitioner, Bowers and Simpson, they initially assumed they were in the wrong room. Petitioner ordered them to stay and directed Simpson to display a Tech 9 handgun he was carrying and to place a chair against the door hallway so that no one could leave. Petitioner instructed McDavid, Howe at White at gunpoint to empty their pockets and rob them of their cash. Unsatisfied with the amount of cash from the 3 victims, petitioner forced White to place a phone call to his mother, Loretta Wogoman, and asked her for $300. Miss Wogoman thought White was joking until petitioner grabbed the phone receiver from White, and I'm going to come to chat. Hi, Mimi Jean. Hi, Nada. Act right. Hey, Mama. What are you guys thinking so far? Summer really loved Laurel Run. They were there often. We see lots of pictures there. It doesn't mean she was hidden under some waterfall. But is it a possibility that somebody was stalking Summer from up at that waterfall? They didn't live far from there. Just a thought. Did Dawn owe Ajan money? This is now the second crime we see with this mortgage on. The first was Jason Arnold. There was a court appearance because of that. So apparently after this Ajan guy gets out of prison. This is Dudley's father or brother. I'm pretty sure it's the brother. Okay? I think they need to look into more people like Friends of DNC. So this guy is the father or the brother of Dudley. Now I've heard both run in circles like this. I'm not going to go research them. I can only bring you what is public. I don't know whether Dawn and Candace knew this, but here is your Ajan, Ben Hill, Beach Creek, Simpson Loop, Laurel Run Park connection. Kathy houses Fred, right? Kathy was married to these people. Her son's last name is the same name as the B name in this indictment. When I brought this up, Ziggy, Fred, and Kathy went silent and started cooking fucking food. Fred, I would like for you to speak on this. Kathy, I would like your input on this. Ziggy, what did you know about this? Since Fred's naming Cotton, I'm not going to read the whole 41 pages. You get it, but what I will do is I can provide a shareable link to my Canva. It's not a link that you guys can like go into my Canva and see, but it will give you access to read this. I will put it in my community post after this live. This is long and it's a lot. People kidnapped, all kinds of drugs and money and wiretapping, and it's insanity is what it is. I think Don was correct too when he said this is bigger than what we all know. I'm curious, Don, we at the beginning of this, all the hoax calls, and even before the hoax calls, we hear like amounts like 50,000, 80,000. Did Don owe Ajan money? It's an opinion. It's some speculation. They lived at the same address. It's the uncle. I always thought it was the brother or father, but uncle, either way, they all lived at one address. And it's the same guy where Arnold was arrested because of this guy. The same guy. And then Arnold's killed. Jason Arnold's killed. I just think this is a lane. According to Dudley, Dawn owed him, $1,800. Right. I'm going to start going over some Dudley stuff. Their interactions to me on voices seemed a little too comfortable. Like they're fighting. To me, it seemed like they knew each other longer than the 2 months they worked together. And we do know they worked together 20 years ago, but it was only supposedly for a couple months, right? So, like, why were these two so close to each other and able to fight so deeply? Their relationship just seems more personal to me. But I just wanted to show you guys the connection that shut Fred, Ziggy, and Kathy the fuck up when I mentioned it. Ziggy, Now, you and Fred have no choice but to address this. Okay? We're going to go to PG and simmer down a little bit. I'm actually just going to go to her channel. Okay. No, we're not going to do that. What we're going to do is we're going to go finish this edited interview without PG's commentary. I would like you to listen to it first without commentary so you can make your own decision. She says she has 5 hours worth. I believe this is sped up 1.5, so it's a little more, but I gathered 41 minutes out of some of it being sped up. At the end of it is the second interview. I edited most of it. However, I told you guys I was coming live. I have like 15 minutes left of it to edit. There's not much there. We'll listen to it just to go through it, but this is definitely not 5 hours of material. So, Prayer Garden, please continue to keep. Oh, wait. No, we'll do that after we listen to her other one. Prayer Garden, please continue to put these out. I'd like to hear the whole 5 hours. And it's my opinion that these are not the same material because you hid you and Allie's face in the one you showed last night, whereas you showed you guys on camera the day before. So it's my opinion that you have more than that and that you purposefully kept it hidden. Just saying. Okay, so let's listen to this. I have a couple things to do in the background. Let you guys listen, form an opinion of the unedited version of the first night that Prayer Garden did this. And then we'll listen to Prayer Garden's commentary.
Crazy kid.
Yeah,
She loves going fishing, let me tell you. That little girl was not afraid to touch a fish. Nope. Nope. She wasn't even afraid of a worm. Nope.
Wow, she bait her own hook.
She would try.
She was a free spirit, wasn't she?
Oh, yes.
She absolutely was a free spirit. And over across the street at the park over there, she used to go there all the time with your kids and play. What kind of toys are over there?
They have swings. They have a little play house, and there's this little thing that looks like a worm, and then right next to the park is the splash pad. And the minute she see that water be on, yep, that's where she was.
Oh, wow. See, I knew there would be a favorite area over there that she would just love to be upon. I didn't know if it was going to be the swings or, maybe a certain toy, because a lot of parks have the little things that, they bounce back and forth on, or I didn't know if it would be the sliding board or what it would be, but I knew somewhere she was going to always be in a certain area. So it was definitely the water again.
Yep. And then she'd get all cooled off, and then she'd go play on the playground and run up and down and go down the slides, and she loved the tire swing too.
Oh.
Yep.
Yeah. I bet sitting on your porch now, when you sit out there, do you ever go back to when you could see her over there playing?
Oh yeah. I sit there and I remember her and the kids going over there and playing and everything, and it's just not the same.
Yeah, absolutely. She is greatly missed, ain't she?
Yes, she is. My youngest asked about her earlier today.
Yeah. What kind of questions do they ask you?
Mommy, have they found Summer yet? Mommy, is Summer ever going to come home? And it's very hard to answer those questions.
Yeah.
I sit there and I said, honey, they have not found her yet. They're looking. I said, we will know.
Right. It's in God's hands. There's nothing we can, no matter how much we want to do, there's really nothing we can do until, God let it come to the light.
Yep.
And that's a terrible thing. Do you think that Donald will end up telling? I don't know. Summer seemed to be his pride and joy,
Yep.
What was the relationship when you were around them, when you were around them as a family? What was the relationship between Candace and Summer? What was the relationship between Grandis and Summer? What was the relationship between Donald and Summer?
That was Donnie's little girl. That's what he threw it off to be. He'd sit there and he'd show her a little bit of attention. Candace, that woman was freaking drunk. That woman was drunk.
Who did Summer run to the most?
Me and my kids.
Wow.
Yep.
So, did you ever take note if she ran to Grandis more or Candace more?
Not really.
So she really didn't run to them, like if she needed anything or
She would try to get it from her mother, but her mother would get frustrated with her. And,
right.
what are you doing?
So Candace really didn't pay Summer a lot of attention.
No, she never really paid any of her kids attention.
Wow. And how about the relationship between Summer and her brothers?
They would roughhouse, pick on her,
You think they kind of took her for granted?
Oh yeah, like Summer would get toys. Like she'd get a doll, and then and then they would turn around and get the boys something, and it'd be like a 99-cent Hot Wheel car. Like, where's the fairness in that? That's not fair at all.
So Summer did get better toys.
Yep, she loved her Paw Patrol.
And who bought those for her, Donald, or would it be Candace?
I think it was mainly Grandis that would buy them.
Oh, yeah, I did take note that Grandis kind of favored Summer, to an extent as well. She seemed to like Summer.
And the boys, they were disrespectful. But man, if I was in the house, I'd act out too. If someone was getting better stuff than I was, I mean, that's kind of hurtful though. Because if you have kids, you got to treat them all equally. You can't buy just for one and not the others. I'm sorry.
It's a sad case. I mean, this is a very, very sad case. But she had a lot of life in her, a lot of life in her, and I just, I wonder, did you ever hear her sing? Did you ever see her dance? Did you ever see her?
She loved doing TikTok videos with my oldest. Yep.
Did your daughter teach her a few moves?
Yep. They would sit there, watch the videos, and they would do them together. It was so cute.
Yeah, and how is True holding up through all of this?
She's doing a little bit better now with it. She tries not to talk too much about it.
It's really disturbing to her, right?
Oh yeah, it's very traumatizing.
Has True confided in you what she thought might have happened to Summer?
No, she really hasn't. We've been trying to get her to talk about it, but she's stubborn.
She's just rather out of sight, out of mind, better off, right?
Yep. Because we get talking about it and stuff, and poor child have a meltdown.
Right. Absolutely. I understand that. It's like when you lose a loved one, the more you go to the cemetery, the more it gets to you, right? But if you kind of try to stay away from the cemetery, you can cope with life a little better at that point, do some of the things you need to be getting done. So absolutely. That's exactly what I was thinking as well. So anyway, yeah, I was wondering, I often wondered, what kind of child Summer was. I wondered if, I kind of felt that she was she had so much energy and light in her. It's like, I don't think a house or anywhere, there was a building big enough to contain it all, I think that's why she loved to be outside. She wanted to, do all the things, run constantly because she just wanted to be free, right?
Yep, she was her own free little spirited child.
Do you think that she might have ran like that because she didn't like being around Candace and them?
Probably. I mean, that little girl she tried to be so independent.
I heard say that one of the boys had went down and woke Candace up trying to get her to help with one of the other children being mean, and Candace attacked that child. Which one of the boys was that? Do you know? I mean, was it the oldest, the middle boy, or the youngest?
It's probably the youngest.
You think it was the youngest one that went down and tried to get her up?
Yep.
Wow. And I heard that he got pretty brutalized by her.
Oh yeah, those kids got the shit beat out of them.
You seen Candace discipline them or whip them? Did she like spin them around and smack the back part of their ass, or did she just go full force on and hit them wherever her hands landed?
Wherever her hands would land.
No matter what, huh?
No matter what.
Wow.
And that's one thing I do not believe in.
Have you ever seen her hit them hard enough to maybe knock them to the ground?
Oh yeah.
Oh Lord.
Yep.
I had that feeling as well. Absolutely. I had that feeling as well.
I pray and hope she never gets her kids back. I'm sorry. Those kids need to be in a loving environment with people that actually will sit there, take the time out, and love and care for them.
Right. The oldest son was the one that was being a problem. It wasn't the younger two that was a problem. It was the oldest boy. The oldest boy was constantly attacking the other children. From what I've seen in videos and so forth, it's the oldest boy.
Very mouthy little boy too.
Yeah, he was learning to be hands-on like Candace and Grandis and Donald, right?
Yeah.
Did you ever see Donald discipline the kids very often, Allie?
He yelled and he would threaten them, but when I was there, he wasn't really ever home except for at night time when he was done working.
So you never see him lay hands on them?
He might have smacked him once or twice in front of me.
And was he like Candace? Was he like wherever it landed, or was he?
Oh yeah.
Same way. Huh? Wow.
Yep.
Yeah. So it might be best they don't return to that environment, right?
Yep. I had someone ask me today how I discipline my kids. I said, I'm very strict. I take their electronics away and I ground them. I will not put my hands on my kids. If you don't want to help do your chores and you're not getting your electronics, I'll take them away.
Absolutely. I think that children, I agree, Molly. Children are, they are little humans and they have their own little minds. I don't raise my kids. I don't try to make my kids be me. A lot of parents they have this ideal in their head what they want their kids to be and they push it. I don't do that. I try to, get to know my children, what they like, because they're their own person. And then I try to, support whatever they want. As long as it's a good thing and a healthy thing and not something crazy. I mean, I'm not going to support them bungee jumping or, I'm not going to let them parachute out of an airplane, but, if it's something, like, dance classes or skating or, they even want to get into skateboarding, which I don't care for skateboarding a whole lot, but if they want to slide down the other side of a, ramp and, break an ankle or something, I do tell them what can, the altercations of what could happen to you when you do things like this. But hey, if that's what you want to do, I'll make sure that they fix the crutches to the right height when we get to the hospital.
Now, I used to work I used to go to work full time at Walmart, come home, get the kids ready, and take them over to the gym because my youngest, she's my gymnast. She does gymnastics. We haven't been at the gym in 2 years because of COVID. And she's a very hands-on learner, so she wasn't learning anything from online video classes. And she had competitions because she made pre-team and team. And my oldest daughter, she did tumbling classes. So then I joined. Then my youngest joined tumbling classes because her gymnastics coach was a tumbling coach. Stop that right now. I am on the phone. And my oldest, she just gave up on the tumbling because it wasn't her thing. My son, he was my little ninja warrior. So it's like every day we were at that gym. And
yeah, I do cheer. I made the volleyball team at school.
Oh, cool. Absolutely.
Yeah, she's my athletic one. She's my athletic one. And Hunter, he can't wait until he gets home because football season's coming up again. And my best friend's grandson will be playing, and he can't wait to get out on the field and play with the kids.
Do you have any idea when Hunter might be coming home?
Not yet. We're working on it. He's getting closer.
Yeah, praise the Lord. I wonder why they didn't send him to one of those ranches or places like that.
I can't say where he is, but people have it all wrong where they think he is.
Right. Anyway, I was wondering, do you think that Grandis, Candace, or Donald will ever tell?
I don't think so. I hope so. I really pray and hope so.
So you don't think Candace is the type that will, you don't think that whatever happened will bother her enough that she will ever tell the truth?
Nope, because her own sister being gone doesn't bother her. Like, that's horrible. Like, that was my sister that was missing. I'd be missing that girl every day. Because I know when my daughter ran off, it killed me.
Aged you 10 years?
It's crazy.
Children, what about Grandis?
Grandis, I don't think she's going to say anything because she's going to protect her daughter. And she doesn't want to get in trouble herself.
What do you think about Donald?
I think he's too much in love with himself and Candace. And then he'll probably think, well, if I come out and say something, then they're going to turn it all on me and make me look guilty. Well, you kind of are because you're holding something back, you dumb fool.
Right. Absolutely.
Like, what is wrong with these people?
Right. Do you think that Donald knows where Summer is?
I don't know. That's kind of a hard one because it's like we haven't even gotten clarification what he was doing that day. Was he home or was he actually at work? Like, why can't someone come out and say something about it that's credible? You know,
Right.
like, because they made it public that he fired from his job. So why can't his boss sit there and say, you know, oh, well, he wasn't at work that day or he was. Come on, give us something to go with.
Right. And as to my understanding, during the time she came up missing, he was at the job site. He was at work. He has the tracking device on the vehicle saying the vehicle was there. His phone was there. Actually, one man, a friend, seen him around, I believe, at the 4:30 mark, and then about the time before he got the call, and the boss had come in. During the time he was talking with the other friend left, and the boss stayed and talked to him and the boss had just barely door around 6 o'clock, and then that's when he got the phone call from Candace that Summer was missing at 6:09. So we know at least from 4:30 to 6:09, yes, he was at work.
You know, this whole case is crazy.
So, do you think that Candace and Grandis are capable of doing something without Don knowing?
Well, yeah, but Don would still have to know something because he'd have to come home eventually.
Right. Donald seems a little more. He seems like things would get to him a little more than they would get to Candace. I mean, he seems like he's got a conscience. What would you say?
Somewhat.
Not much of one.
No.
And Grandis, not much of one.
No. She's more. What can I say? How can I explain it? She's more like she would do anything for Candace because she needs a place to stay. Like, you know, she travels back and forth from Wisconsin to Tennessee. It's like that woman has no stability in her life. Like,
right.
That's more traveling I would do in a year.
Exactly. Does she have a house in Wisconsin, or did she just go there and stay with people?
I think she went there and stayed with people.
Oh, okay. So she don't have like a home there. She don't have like a stable home or anything there of her own.
No. And then all she has at Candace's is the camper.
I gotta wonder about all of this. Home is more in Wisconsin or more in Tennessee?
I don't know. She was always going back and forth.
So, I mean, do you think she's
like she'd stay here? She'd stay here a couple months, then she'd go up there for a couple months, then she'd come back, then she'd go, then she'd come. It's like, okay.
Yeah,
I wish I had money to travel like that.
I was wondering if she has more family in Wisconsin, more friends, family, more.
Not that I know of.
Right. Right. Because I know in Tennessee, all she had is Candace and the kids and Donald, and now Donald's in jail and the kids are gone, and you know there's no one but her, just her and Candace. And how do you think that's working out?
I don't think that's working out really well.
You said Candace was pretty rude to her.
Oh yeah.
Let me ask you: has Grandis ever stepped up to Candace and for the children or anything like that?
No.
Oh, so she doesn't step in and say, "Hey, don't be touching that child," or "Candace, you can't be doing that. Do not be doing that."
Nope.
Wow. If I seen one of my children swat their child in the future, my grandchild in the future, let me tell you something. It will be all bad. All bad. I don't care if I'm on a cane. I will break that cane over my child's back. Trust me. Do not touch my grandchildren. You did not get your backside beat or whooped or slapped like that. You will not be doing it to your children. You know, God didn't make me their mother from birth to 18 or 21, right? He made me their mother for life. Once a mother, always a mother. And that means that, you know, no matter how old they are, they're still your child. And you still can give them a good whack on the ass, right?
Sure. Like, if I say something like, if I see someone mistreating a kid, I'm the first one to say something, trust me.
Absolutely.
I do it to my mother all the time. That's raising my sisters, because I'd be like, your kids are getting online, do something. Get off your ass, do something.
I don't even want to see you touching an animal, let alone a child. I mean, you know, I am not for people that abuse their pets, you know, or anything else. And a lot of people do. A lot of people are very mean to their animals, and you know, they got mental issues. And just only imagine if they had a child. I couldn't imagine that. You know, I think the reason Candace went a lot of places she went was because She made friends with Allie and her mother, and actually started getting out with them and doing things. Because I took note that before Allie started coming around, and Allie must have started coming around around late 2019, I would say, because I seen a lot of the pictures from 2020. But she started coming around, and before that particular time, I took note that most of the pictures when the kids were littler was upon 110 Ben Hill Road, in the house, out on the land, right there in the vicinity. It wasn't at the water holes. It wasn't, at different places. It was pretty close to home. Was Grandis living with Candace and Donald when you showed up, when you became friends with them?
Yeah, she was in the house.
Oh, she was living in the house.
Yep.
She hadn't got a trailer yet?
No, her trailer was there, but she was in the house.
Oh, wow. And where did she sleep?
There was like a little made up, I don't know, like type of
Sofa?
couch type thing made out of wood and had a mattress on it. And that's where she would sleep.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Had they, when you met Candace, had they already put that addition onto the house?
Yeah, the house was like that the original videos that everyone's seen of the house was like that when I was there.
It did have an addition to it, or no?
Yeah, when you walk through the front door, that was the living room. Then you went to your right, and that door opened up to the kitchen. And then in the kitchen, you walked a little ways to the back, and that was their so-called little bathroom. And then another little area that had all the clothes in it. And then you had the bar that had the stairs that went down to the basement. That's all there was.
And that is with the addition that Donald added onto it, right?
Yep.
Okay, so the addition was already on there when you showed up and started being friends with Candace.
Yep.
Did you ever wonder why they didn't put a bigger addition on while they was doing it?
I had asked them about it, and they said something about they had level land, and they were planning on expanding, but they didn't know when because it was going to take so much time, and they had to refigure out the driveway and everything, and it was a whole mess.
Right. Why did they not build a house down there on the flat land?
She said it had to be cleared out, and they had to get I think it had it needed a septic system. She said.
Oh, there is a well down there.
There was like an old well or something down there somewhere.
The front part of the land where you first come in?
No, that's it's a flat piece of land, and there's a little barn-looking shed by it, and that's what they would call the bottom property.
Right. And she said that there was a well down there somewhere.
Yep.
And that's, and that's what I've often told them, that, they need to search that bottom area right there. On June the 15th, here's what I want to ask you. Is it true that your mother went out to eat dinner and everything with Candace and them on June the 12th?
No, not that I know of.
Because I went back and checked the videos, and those pictures were from March.
Those were the ones from, I think it was, where the hell did they eat at? Chili's, and there's a couple places they ate at. I know one was Chili's, but that was during income tax time.
Right. It was around March.
Yeah, that's when they got their income taxes back.
On June the 15th, Allie, the timeline for Hunter after 2:30, you did say that he had a doctor's appointment that day. That
Yes.
you were looking to. And do you remember around what time it might have been?
3:30, because most doctors' offices around here close about 5.
Right. And most
and I don't drive, and we had a ride there and we had a ride back.
You have to get there early, and you usually takes about an hour or two before you get to see a doctor, right?
Yep.
So if it was 3:30, so 4:30, you guys got back home somewhere around 5 o'clock, maybe 5:30.
It's right here in town, so it was about 5. I know we were home at 5 because I had to be at the ball field.
Right. And his girlfriend picked him up at that time. Did the girlfriend pick him up before you left to the ball field or after?
Before.
So when you guys got home, we
were actually with his girlfriend when we went to the doctor's office.
Oh, okay. So when you guys got back, then he went ahead and left with the girlfriend and her mom to the other place, and you guys went to the ball field.
Yep.
There you go. So he had an alibi the whole entire time, and I heard that the park that he was at was not in the general area where you live. It was about 35 to 40 minutes away.
Yeah, it was another ball. It was another ball field because his sister's little brothers were playing football.
There you go.
And they had football practice.
Right. Absolutely. So and then the phone call while he was there came in from Candace, which he called and relayed to you.
Yep, he tried to get me on my phone, and he couldn't because my phone was in Leslie's van charging. Because it was better than a door nail.
listen to this.
I'll crawl in my nice big comfy bed and hug my nice comfy pillow.
Amen. Amen. There
And my
you go.
blanket. I got my window open, so if it decides to storm during the night, that breeze can come in and hit me.
Absolutely. I heard that. I absolutely heard that. Um, God bless you. You must live in a pretty safe area to keep your window open at night.
Whatever was upstairs.
Yeah, I tell you, yeah, that's to your advantage. I like to see somebody try that one, right? You knock them off into the yard. That would be hilarious.
Try to come through my window and see what happens. You gonna meet my dogs. My dogs are
that,
very, very overprotective.
that cracked me up. Oh man, I remember, when you could keep a fan in the window, or not on the first floor, but on the second floor, you could keep a fan in the window, or something, during the summertime, and during my generation, you could keep one door open if you were sitting where you could look at it. But
Yep.
pretty much the doors have been shut. But I know that, like my mother and my grandmother, they spoke of a time when all the windows could be opened, the doors thrown back, and I guess it was a whole different world than we live in, right?
Yep. I remember growing up, like the one house my grandmother had. We used to sleep with our back door open. The screen door was locked, but the back door was open. The windows were open, and no one bothered you. Nowadays, I don't even like my
Uh,
door. I don't even like my doors and windows being open downstairs, even during the day, because you never know what's going to happen.
Absolutely, that's what I'm talking about. Absolutely. It's crazy. It's crazy. Um, that's what happened in that one case that we had talked about, the Gerner case. A boy that hung around with one of the sons to the woman actually got in and took the little boy away, and and murdered him. And he was coming back to get the second one.
And
It's just luck. Yeah, it's just luck he didn't get the other little boy, but he came back to get him. The other, yeah, absolutely. Wasn't that horrible?
Yep.
And the minute the real dad left, that woman should have called. She should have reported that he left. He abandoned the children. She should have reported that. How she got away with keeping those boys without reporting the dad, the biological dad ran away, I don't know. Because the biological mom was looking for them boys and had been looking for them for a long time, and this woman has them that had no business with them in her custody at all.
That's just crazy.
Yeah.
I had to put cameras outside my house and inside my house because one day my son went to Bible study. I was at work. My grandmother was in the kitchen doing the dishes. Someone had snuck through my son's bedroom window, stole his Xbox and everything.
Oh wow.
And he came home and he told me, he's like, "Mom, where's my Xbox?" I'm like, "What do you mean, where's your Xbox? I'm here at work. Like, what are you talking about, kid?" And he went out to the kitchen and goes, "Grandma, where's my Xbox? Did you take it for me being naughty earlier?" Grandma's like, "No, your Xbox is right where you had it." They went in and there was no Xbox.
Wow. I bet the grandmother was like, "Whoa, I was in the house. What if this person wouldn't have been just looking for an Xbox, right?"
Yep, and you know what? Ever since then, my doors are locked. My downstairs windows are shut. I don't care how hot it is. I don't care. And I had cameras in my house. I went out and bought wireless cameras and put them all through my house.
Amen. Amen. Absolutely.
Why do you have a camera in your son's room? For his Well, because it's for his safety.
Absolutely. And and when you're at work, you can open those cameras up and see
Yep.
everything going on in your home. And
My phone
you
was
have a
always
right to know that. You have a right to know everything that's going on in your home. And why is there a camera in your son's room? Because you want to make sure he ain't got some girl in there, right?
or someone
Yeah,
trying to kidnap him or something, you know?
yeah,
You
true
know?
too. Yeah, absolutely. Because you had that problem once already, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, absolutely. I see why you got them. Absolutely. Oh wow. Yeah, I had forgot about um him almost getting gone. So thank God he wasn't the type to leave though. I mean, he didn't know those people at all. And
No?
you know,
And see
um
where everyone went wrong is that they didn't know that our phones were connected to his Xbox either. Like, my son was on his Xbox app on his phone, and, by the time I realized what was going on, I had already had him removed to a safe location. He goes, I'm here for Hunter Mulaney to take him to his father's. And poor Leslie goes like this. And people want help. People in hell want ice water too, don't
is that what you said to him?
they? Yep. And then his little buddy was recording us. I said, here's a Tennessee County, you Georgia peachy son of a bitch. Gave him my
Oh, that is hilarious.
You ain't getting my kids without fight. Mm-mm.
That is funny. She told him that people in hell wanted some ice water. People in
Yep.
hell just want one drop of water and they can't get it. That's the truth. Just a drop. That's horrible. That's why we have to work extra hard to get to heaven, right?
Yep.
Absolutely. Thanks for that. Thanks for that story because that kind of made my night. It really did. I needed that. This, Summer's case is really, really. I'm not gonna lie, it's stressful. Very, very, very stressful. Not knowing where she's at. And I can just imagine for all of us how stressful it is for all of us. Worrying about her and everything and wanting her home. I can only imagine what it's like for you.
It's crazy.
It's hard, I bet.
Oh, yeah. He goes, I'm here for Hunter Mulaney to take him to his father's. And poor Leslie goes like this. And people want help. People in hell want ice water too, don't
Is that what she said to him?
they? Yep. And then his little buddy was recording us. I said, here's a Tennessee County, you Georgia peachy son of a bitch. Gave him my
Oh, that is hilarious.
You ain't getting my kids without fight. Mm-mm.
That is funny. She told him that people in hell wanted some ice water. People in
Yep.
hell just want one drop of water and they can't get it. That's the truth. Just a drop. That's horrible. That's why we have to work extra hard to get to heaven, right?
Yep.
Absolutely. Thanks for that. Thanks for that story because that kind of made my night. It really did. I needed that. This, Summer's case is really, really. I'm not gonna lie, it's stressful. Very, very, very stressful. Not knowing where she's at. And I can just imagine for all of us how stressful it is for all of us. Worrying about her and everything and wanting her home. I can only imagine what it's like for you.
It's crazy.
It's hard, I bet.
Oh, yeah. He goes, I'm here for Hunter Mulaney to take him to his father's. And poor Leslie goes like this. And people want help. People in hell want ice water too, don't
Is that what she said to him?
they? Yep. And then his little buddy was recording us. I said, here's a Tennessee County, you Georgia peachy son of a bitch. Gave him my
Oh, that is hilarious.
You ain't getting my kids without fight. Mm-mm.
That is funny. She told him that people in hell wanted some ice water.
At that point, I think she's just repeating the same thing over and over. Ridiculous. What do you guys think of that without Prayer Garden's commentary? What are your thoughts? And let's light one. I just rolled one up. I would turn the camera on, but I told you I'm a mess back here. I started to decorate. My daughter keeps stealing the fucking decorations. Why, though, is it people that around a certain minor at the time passed away? Oh, I agree. I agree, Glossop. There's some things in there I do agree with PG about. When we listen to her, I'll tell you what that is, because we're going to listen to this again with her commentary so that you guys can see how narratives are pushed. And I don't know why PG pushes these narratives. Like I said, I'm not a very religious person, but in my comment section, I had gone and looked up some Bible scriptures. I put some things in there to show to you that this is not a true Christian woman. I know she tries to believe that she is and push it out to people, but that's not what this woman is. A true Christian wouldn't do the things she does. She's a Bible thumper, in my opinion. And I don't even believe that she's Christian. I think she's LDS because she uses the word elders or Presbyterian. Allison did lie a lot, but Mama Bear, this interview, the first interview we seen that Prayer Garden showed, let me light this motherfucker. The first interview we did that Prayer Garden showed, that was the most genuine I think I've seen Allison, which is why I wanted to take Prayer Garden's commentary out of it. Sometimes I wish she would just show the stuff and then give commentary on it. I try to do that sometimes, I feel like Prayer Garden hid this because of that camera comment in the Jeremy comments. I have a lot of serious questions for Andrew. He doesn't want to answer them or something. He's up because he does his early morning coffee and med shit. And he went from unblocked to blocking me so that the name on the thing changes. Or Lips did that. Because all she wants to do is cause drama. All the time. And I have a lot of questions. So maybe somebody else will ask him those questions one day. There's a link pinned if he wants to come over. Elders used around here in other churches. I've heard she was Jewish. Jewish don't use elder, though, Running Bear. Sometimes to me it seems like Prayer Garden's mixing a bunch of religions up in one. It's so weird, the way she speaks. Yeah, that's a messed up story. What do you guys think of the Ajan, Simpson, Gordon, Bowers, Laurel Run thing I showed? Because to me, that's a little more important. And I just don't want to read all them 40-some pages. I'll put them into Play HT and have a recording so you guys can listen to what the documents say. That might be a little bit easier, but I'm still going to post it on my wall after my live. There's more than Dawn Candace, Grandma H involved. I'm just so confused. What happened to this baby? Why is this all so strange? You didn't see it, Gossip? Go back at some court papers I found about a case that happened between 2000 and 2002. It involved kidnapping, wire tapping, lots of trafficking. The Ajans, the Simpsons, the Bowers. I think so too, and it's dangerous to talk about it. It's hard. The Apostolic has also, yeah. There's a lot of like Arabic. There's a lot of here. I looked it up. Let me go see. I don't have my Chat GPT up. I'll show you what Chat GPT told me. I think of that stuff when I'm listening. I research everything. Hold on. Yeah, my shit ain't paid. I gotta pay this. I keep forgetting. I'll do that when I get off of here. Hold on. Let me hit this again before I read this. Drink my coffee. Many religions and spiritual traditions have designated rules for elders who are often respected for their wisdom, experience, and leadership within the community. Here are a few examples. Christianity and Protestant Christian traditions, especially churches like Presbyterian, Methodist, and some Baptist denomination, elders serve as spiritual leaders or advisors that may help make decisions, counsel members, and participate in worship. Jehovah's Witnesses also has elders who lead congregations and provide spiritual guidance. In the Church of Jesus Christ Latter-day Saints, LDS, elders is a term used for men who have been ordained to specific priesthood level, serving in missionary work and local leadership. Judaism. In some Jewish communities, particularly Orthodox and more traditional settings, elders are community leaders respected for their knowledge of Jewish law, customs, and history. I guess they do use it in Judaism. They provide guidance, often consulted on religions and community matters. I missed that the first time around. I apologize. Islam. While Islam does not have formalized elder rule across the sects, older, knowledgeable individuals in communities such as local imam or other experienced Muslims often serve as advisors and guides in some Islamic communities. Age and experience are respected and sought for advice and leadership. Buddhism, monks and nuns have many years of experience, are often revered as elders, particularly in Theravada Buddhism, where age and years of monastic life contribute to one's standing. These elders, monks, or nuns often teach, provide spiritual advice, and lead ceremonies. Hinduism. In Hindu communities, elders often serve as heads of family or clan units that are respected for their life experience, wisdom, and knowledge of scriptures and customs. They play important roles in family rituals and community decisions. These elder roles often signify a deep connection to traditional wisdom and spiritual guidance, playing key roles in supporting, teaching, and guiding their communities. Okay, let me come back. Who said they have the same Sabbath? LDS, baby. Maybe we should go re-listen to Claudia's voice. I don't think they're the same. Yeah, I'm thinking LDS. Did y'all talk about it while I was behind? I don't know what Birdie's talking about. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go to Prayer Garden. I don't want this one. Hold on.
Over 18 years of being a leader in online education.
Did you or a loved one use Depo-Provera and later develop a brain tumor or a meningioma?
Somewhere other than the swimming hole, other than, Walgreens, Sonics, the milk jug store, right? She was all wet during all of this. So where was she changed? Allison's house. And over the next couple of days, I'm going to bring out some things out of Allison's mouth that, we didn't catch before. But we're catching everything now. We're catching it all now, you guys. And, and that's a big plus. That's a big, big plus for us. So, yeah.
Birdie, what's up? What am I helping with? Can you check about Mark Ajan new charges? 724 says charged by Homeland Security. Really? Do you have a link? Can you go post it in my last community post? I'd appreciate that. For some reason, I feel like I've seen that. Ayo. Yay, okay. Andrew's here. Let me throw a new link, Andrew. I have some questions for you. Running Bear, you'll have to go back and listen because we're not exactly sure if it's the brother, uncle, or father, but they have the same address as that Dudley's father. I believe it's the brother. I threw him a link. Is he grabbing it? Okay. Hey. Good morning. I have just a few questions for you, and then you don't have to. No fighting, nothing about fat lips, nothing about none of that. Okay. These are important questions. Did Hunter have an Xbox that was stolen?
Yeah, he let his friend borrow it, and his friend stole it.
Okay, so that's nothing we have to worry about.
No.
Okay, what about the cameras? Did Allison really put cameras in the house that you know of?
No, she didn't.
Did you hear that she said that in the prayer garden?
No, I didn't even. Sorry, no. What live is this one?
Huh? Last night.
Oh, well, I just woke up. I haven't had a chance to scope out what was been said, but yeah.
Well, can you tell me your mods to quit blocking and unblocking me? They're getting on my nerves.
Most indubitably. And I ain't really been. I have not been on.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I don't want to talk about that stuff. Just sometimes I have real questions for you. I don't mean to come over and fight with you. You know that. We've talked on and off. You know what I mean? And lips is I'm not gonna go there because you're not involved in with what I'm involved with, I hope. With the Linda situation. But I do have questions. Okay, so you never heard of Allison putting cameras in Hunter's room. Are these like two questions you could possibly ask Hunter for us without bringing Hunter online? Because, Andrew, I really think it's important to Summer's case that you keep Hunter as protected as possible, because he is possibly the only one that hasn't came out and given any major details. All I want to do is fact check or debunk some of the stuff Per Gordon's saying, because in my opinion, she
Well,
has
it
been
would have been
talking
illegal
really
for
shitty about Allison since Allison has passed away. I don't like it.
right, but what I'm saying is, if Allison wants to put any cameras in a teenage boy's room, it is illegal, even if it is her own son's.
Okay,
And
now
yeah,
Gordon has gone
yes,
on to say that Hunter probably knew about these cameras and had an app on his phone.
no, ma'am, that's all
Okay,
BS.
and she also tried to connect it to Jeremy Dugan.
No, none had anything to do with any of the other. Allison did not have any cameras in that boy's room. It is illegal and a little pervertish.
Yeah.
And she would not have been able to get away with that due to the fact there is CPS and a bunch of other people were in and out of her house constantly.
Okay, how long before Summer went missing, or was it after Summer went missing that the Xbox went missing?
Xbox went missing. I think it was. What was it? 2019, somewhere around there.
So it was nowhere even near the time Summer went missing.
No,
Okay. Thank you so much for clearing that up. Now, are you going to be listening in the background? Because I'm going to have some other questions for you, but I want to wait till I hear what it is I want to question you about.
yeah, I can pop back up at any moment you need me.
All right.
I'm
Thank you so much,
Yeah,
Andrew.
I'll be in chat. I'm just waking up. I got woken up and was asked to come
No,
over.
take your time. It's going to be a while before we get there.
All right, not a problem. I'll be back up when it's time.
All right. I'll let you know. Thank
All
you.
right, not a problem.
Uh-huh. That was simple. You see that? Whew. All right. Back to Prayer Garden.
I think you'll be very interested in some of the stuff's going to be coming out. Actually, you know,
would you be interested in collecting 5-figure paychecks for a few hours of work, helping me in your spare time from
I was just looking to find a certain little clip, and I found about 5 hours of Allison. And I've been trying to break it down, so it won't be too overwhelming for all of you. So I've been trying to break it down for you. But tonight we're going to start on it. And and tomorrow night, God willing, we're here. We're going to hear some more. And and we might even have to go a third night. I don't know, you guys. I hope not, but if we do, so be it. We'll do it for Summer. Absolutely, nothing's too much for Summer. And I have some other things. I want to also, tonight I want to, after we go through all of this, I want to talk about Leilani, right? Leilani, we got justice. We got justice for Quentin. I don't think we got as much justice as Quentin deserved. I really don't. I think there's other people who should have been prosecuted, should have been, put through the ringer and should have put in prison. Absolutely. For one, I think Billy Joe should have been prosecuted because she failed. She failed to take care, to protect the child the way she was supposed to when the state put them in her custody. I think she failed them children, and I think she should have had to pay the price for failing them children. I mean, her failure is what led to this. Her failure is what led to this baby being gone now, right?
I agree with
so
that.
If you want to get technical, this is all Billy Joe's fault. Nobody else's. It's all her fault because, she allowed it when she shouldn't have. And, I don't think Danny's innocent. I just do not think Danny's innocent. With everything I've heard and seen, I think Danny got immunity. I think he got a deal for talking. They didn't want to talk about it, but they already gave it.
Per Garden, I believe that they asked Danny on the stand if he was given any immunity or anything of that nature. He took an oath. The police said that they recorded them for a few days and that they watched every interaction. The prosecution came out very strong at the end in closing arguments, explaining that they didn't see any of that. I would like you to shut the whole fuck up about Danny now. Okay? Admit you're wrong, say you're sorry, and quit fucking talking about him. That's the hypocritical bitch shit that you do that I don't like, okay? Stop your shit meth mouth, idiot. Stop it.
To him, and once they give it to you, they can't take it back. So there's really not a hell of a lot anyone can do about that. But that also puts a lot of people, a lot of women and children in the future in his path, right? It's going to be in his path in a lot of danger, if you ask me, right? What I'm saying, could this happen again with him being, him not getting prosecuted, him not having to, him not having to face his part in all of this? In my opinion, yes, absolutely, absolutely. So I wanted to talk about some of that. Also, if we have time at the end of the night, if we have time, we're going to talk about it. Absolutely. I agree with you, Ruby Rainmaker. I agree. It is her fault. And I do seriously believe that, Danny, if nothing else, he could have stopped it. He was there. I think he had full knowledge, if not participation in what went down. And if nothing else, I think he could have stopped what happened, and he failed to do so. So, what I'm saying is these people all deserve to go to prison, if you ask me. That's my opinion,
Listen here, you judgmental fucking hypocritic. You're a hypocrite. Only one person did that. We have laws in America. It doesn't matter what you believe. Please leave Danny alone. Stop it. Judging by the church on her picture, I'm going to say Presbyterian or LDS. You get on my fucking nerves, you idiot. And I don't care. Stop spreading shit. You deserve to be in prison. Fucking a devil's prison. In my opinion.
that's true, Anna. Absolutely. That's true. I don't know. We're going to listen to her. Tonight I brought like a little over an hour's worth of Allison tonight with me. And there's a lot. So we're going to have to, we'll be listening to
What if I told you that you could block all ads or get paid to see them? My name is Brandon Moore. I'm an engineer here at Pi.
Allison again.
Yeah, after a whole night of bashing her and her son, I'm bringing a little bit of Allison in here. But let me tell you how bad of people they are. Allison had no control over them kids. They were baby kids. Bitch, you're a baby Christian.
Definitely tomorrow, maybe a third day. I don't know, but I think you guys are going to be interested in this stuff for real. You knew Summer very well, Allie. I mean, you, the real live Summer, the one that, you got to hug her and watch her run, watch her laugh, watch her cry. I'm sure, you knew the real little girl. And, can you tell us a little bit about her, about, like, I used to try to get Candace and Donald to tell me about, Summer and talk about her. Like, I seen all the pictures of you guys at the water hole and in the boats and her out there on the inner tubes. And I seen you guys fishing and just all kinds of things you guys did together. Maybe you can.
She's such a sweet little girl. She's so lovable and, very loving. She brightened my day every day that I got to see her.
Absolutely. I
She's
took
like one of
note.
my own. She'll always be like one of my own.
So how was it? I mean, when you guys went out to the water hole out there and to boat and stuff. I mean, how was Summer? I mean, how did she react to all of it?
She loved it. She loved getting in the water, splashing, playing with the kids. You couldn't keep that little girl out of that water.
And
you can't keep my kids out of the water.
I seen you guys in the boat, and she was out there on a big inner tube. Do you remember that?
Yep, I had bought the inner tubes at Walmart, and she had to have one.
Yeah,
She was floating and swimming with it, being a big girl. She loved it. She'd sit there and she had the cutest little laugh.
I bet you still hear it, don't you?
Oh yeah.
Who put the floaty things on her arms?
I did.
You were kind of like, I'm not, it's not to be disrespectful. Well, I don't care about Candace personally. I mean, if other people care about Candace, then, more power to you. But PG I don't care for Candace at all. I don't let that side of me. I don't try to hide it. Absolutely, I don't. I don't care for her at all. But, it seemed like you and Grandis were kind of those kids' angel as in watching over them. Yes?
Yep.
Can you tell us a little bit about some of the things that you all did together?
She loved going hiking. We went hiking at Laurel Run Park, and there's waterfalls that you can hike up to, and she would love it. She'd stop and look at the bugs along the way, the flowers. She loved the water. Crazy kid.
It seemed like how far apart did Allie and Leslie pass? It seems like it was, I don't even think it was a year. About a year, maybe a year at the most, because Leslie passed away, and then I don't even think it was a year because Hunter went back to Allison after that. He went back to Allison, and then it wasn't long after he's back with Allison. Allison passed away, and it seems like in the same nature, right? In the same nature. I mean, I was hearing the same damn story that I heard about Leslie. I was hearing the same damn story about Allison. To be honest with you, fell sick, right? They fell sick, wasn't doing too good. Next thing you know, they just out of the blue, bumped their heads and went into comas and passed away. And, and the funny thing I found was both of them were cremated, right? Both of them got cremated. So, I don't know. I mean, once you do that, there ain't no going back and seeing if, these two ladies had something in common.
So what she did there was she just indicated, because I believe it was stated, I gotta go get water and coffee. I wanted to listen to that. I caught on what she was saying before I got up. What she's stating is that Hunter knocked them on the head. In my opinion, what she's stating is Hunter knocked both Leslie and Allison in the head, and they died of weird circumstances. Allison, I believe, had COVID. Andrew, if you're in a chat, can you tell us in which the circumstances were that Allison passed away? Was it a heart attack? Was it diabetes? Was it somebody murdered her? Is there a way for you to just give us a brief, without too many details, reason as to why Allison passed away? I also seen that Allison was returned to New York, I believe, to an ex-husband. There is an obituary. I can't find it again. Andrew, if you could share that obituary with me, I would appreciate it, because it would clear up so much about Allison's death. Oh, here he is. Hello?
Hi.
Hi.
For the obituary, I have it somewhere in my computer. I'll have to look for it. I don't think I deleted it. And Allison passed away due to her being sick with pneumonia and not taking care of it. She got dizzy, she fell and cracked her head pretty good, to the point to where she went into, what happened.
That's so sad. Where was she at?
She was at home and Hunter was at his girlfriend's.
Thank you. I have no more questions.
All right, honey.
All right. I might have a few more for you now, but I have no more questions about that. Thank you for clearing that up.
Not a problem.
Uh-huh.
All right, later.
Yep. Okay. Per Gordon, you're sick.
About what went down between them, right? What I'm saying is, you can't do forensics on ashes. right? And they seem to be in a big hurry to, turn these ladies into ashes. So, I don't know. I don't know, you guys.
The minute you wake up, Channel 11 Morning News has all the information you need to know. What's the weather like?
Just seems really, really, wow to me. It seems wow to me, if you ask me. I don't know. Yeah,
She loves going fishing. Let me tell you, that little girl was not afraid to touch a fish. Nope. Nope. She wasn't even afraid of a worm. Nope.
Wow, she bait her own hook.
She would try.
She was a free spirit, wasn't she?
Oh yes.
She absolutely was a free spirit. And over across the street at the park over there, she used to go there all the time with your kids and play. What kind of toys are over there?
They have swings. They have a little play house, and there's this little thing that looks like a worm, and then right next to the park is the splash pad. And the minute she see that water beyond, yep, that's where she was.
Oh, well, see, I knew there would be a favorite area over there that she would just love to be upon. I didn't know if it was going to be the swings or, maybe a certain toy, because a lot of parks have the little things that, they bounce back and forth on, or she, I didn't know if it would be the sliding board or what it would be, but I knew somewhere she was going to always be in a certain area. So it was definitely the water again.
Yep. And then she'd get all cooled off, and then she'd go play on the playground and run up and down and go down the slides, and she loved the tire swing too.
Oh.
Yep.
Yeah. I bet, sitting on your porch now, I mean, when you sit out there, do you ever go back to when you could see her over there playing?
Oh yeah. I sit there and I remember her and the kids going over there and playing and everything, and it's just not the same.
Yeah, absolutely. She is greatly missed, ain't she?
Yes, she is. My youngest asked about her earlier today.
Yeah. What kind of questions do they ask you?
Mommy, have they found Summer yet? Mommy, is Summer ever going to come home? And it's very hard to answer those questions.
Yeah.
And I sit there and I said, honey, they have not found her yet. They're looking. I said, we will know. Right.
It's in God's hands. There's nothing we can, no matter how much we want to do, there's really not nothing we can do until, God. Now, if you take note, I just want to call this out. If you take note, and I took note, that right there, when I'm talking to Allison, about Summer and Summer being, in God's hands. And if you take note, do you see that she's having a lot of difficulty? Can you see that she's like looking up to heaven, as if she's saying, God, forgive, right? As if she's saying, God, forgive. I mean, I've seen people do this. I've seen people, it's like a guilty conscience, right? A guilty conscience, not really for yourself, but for something that, something you don't want to do, but you was forced into doing kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? What I'm saying is, I think Allison, if you look at her face, you can almost tell she was put between a rock and a hard place, with Summer. I mean, look at her. She's kind of like, I don't think she's just asking for forgiveness of what part she had to play in this, as Summer being dressed inside of her house and laid upon the milk jugs that day. But I think she also, if you see, the way she's got that stare, I think she's kind of maybe praying for Hunter as well. I think she's kind of, God forgive him as well. That's what mothers do. But I took note that she sure was looking into heaven a lot there, right? She was something really disturbing her about all of this. I just took note of that. So, let us keep that in mind going on here as it comes to the light.
Yep.
And that's a terrible thing. Do you think that Donald will end up telling? I mean,
I don't know.
Summer seemed to be his pride and joy,
Yep.
What was the relationship when you were around them, when you were around them as a family? What was the relationship between Candace and Summer? What was the relationship between Grandis and Summer? What was the relationship between Donald and Summer?
That was Johnny's little girl. That's what he threw it off to be.
She said that's what he threw it off to be. Did you take note of this? you guys. She said that was Donnie's little, that's what he threw it off to be. Now to throw something off, you know, there's a difference. There's a difference between someone saying, you know, oh yeah, that's definitely a daddy's little girl. And someone saying, you know, yeah, that's a daddy's little girl, right? That's what he's throwing it off to be. Like he's acting, right? He's some shit's going on there. Some shit's going on there that, you know, Allison, you know, she didn't say, oh, she said that's what he's throwing it off to be. So, you know, that allows us to know that Allison knows a lot more about what was going on at 110 Ben Hill Road, what was going on with Summer and the children and so forth. She's got a lot of insight, a lot of knowledge. You know, she said that's what he's throwing it off to be. Right? Like that's a front. That's a front, is what she's saying. That's a front. But I know what's going on behind that front, right? That's basically what she's saying, you guys.
He'd sit there and he'd show her a little bit of attention. Candace, that woman was freaking drunk. That woman was drunk. I mean,
who did Summer run to the most?
Me and my kids.
Wow.
Yep.
So, did you ever take note if she ran to Grandis more or Candace more?
Not really.
So she really didn't run to them, like if she needed anything, or
she would try to get it from her mother, but her mother would get frustrated with her. And
right.
Oh,
Candace really didn't pay Summer a lot of attention.
No, she never really paid any of her kids attention.
Wow. And how about the relationship between Summer and her brothers?
They would roughhouse, pick on her, you know.
You think they kind of took her for granted?
Oh yeah, like Summer would get toys. Like she'd get a doll, and then and then they would turn around and get the boys something, and it'd be like a 99-cent Hot Wheel car. Like, where's the fairness in that? That's not fair at all.
So Summer did get better toys.
Yep, she loved her Paw Patrol.
And who bought those for her, Donald, or would it be Candace?
I think it was mainly Grandis that would buy them.
Oh, yeah, I did take note that Grandis kind of favored Summer, to an extent as well. She seemed to like Summer.
And the boys, they were disrespectful. But man, if I was in the house, I'd act out too. If someone was getting better stuff than I was. I mean, that's kind of hurtful though, because if you have kids, you got to treat them all equally. You can't buy just for one and not the others. I'm sorry.
Could Grandis now let's take note. Let's take note, you guys. I mean, this is just my opinion, right? This is just my opinion. Grandis ain't allowed around children, right? She's got restraining orders and all kinds of stuff from my understandings. She's not allowed around children. Even her, when she left her husband, he had full custody of the children, right? She wasn't allowed around her own kids until they grew up. And she wasn't allowed around the grandkids and so forth, right? Some reason she wasn't allowed around children. Now, could there been a specific reason that she was, I found it kind of odd. I found it kind of odd that, Summer happened to be in her trailer, not just her trailer, but in her bed with a great big baby doll, right? I found that kind of odd. I mean, what I'm saying is, what I'm trying to say is Summer and the kids live inside of Candace and Don's house. And I would think if it's her birthday or it's Christmas, I would think that all the gifts would be under the tree inside the house. And this is where the children would be opening them, right? I found it kind of odd that, Grandis has Summer outside of the home, inside of that freaking trailer, in a bed, right? In her bed. And Summer's got this great big doll. And I would think to myself, that's pretty freaking odd to me. I don't know. I don't know how you guys would feel about that, but I just found that that didn't sit right with me. That's all I'm saying. It didn't sit right with me, right? Because gifts are supposed to be under a tree. They're supposed to, what I'm saying is, my mother really didn't get to see, too many of my kids, and they were really young. The one she did see was really young when she passed away. But I do know, my brothers and sisters, they had children. And, and I used to help my mother, I used to help her, go Christmas shopping and wrap the gifts and everything. And I'm going to tell you, family comes in, right? Family comes in a few days before Christmas. They start coming in and they pick up their gifts and they're dropping off gifts, right? And not one time was there ever a grandkid in my mother's freaking bed with a gift, right?
Hate's a strong word. But what I feel for what she just said is very close to that. That is Summer's grandmother. Is she a suspect? Yes. Is it weird that Candace took Summer over to her mother's trailer? No. Her mother's trailer was tiny. Her bed probably doubled as a sofa. You dumb, ignorant bitch. Grandmothers buy their grandchildren gifts. The whole fact that you turned that into some pedo thing is completely and utterly fucking disgusting. Dawn and Candace did not have a traditional family that you are explaining. Everybody's family is different. Just because of something your mother did doesn't mean it's something some other family's mother would do. Stop spreading the gossip and the rumors, you perverted, hypocritical, disgustingly nasty little old woman with no teeth or a meth mouth. Do you understand? Stop it. That is the most ridiculous shit I ever heard in my life. That little girl got a gift from her grandmother. And she was doing disgusting things. I take that weird. And for anybody that goes into her chat and supports that, you're just as fucking weird as she is. I slept with my grandma and I loved it. She never touched me or did anything weird. Fucking weirdo. You're the weirdo.
Not ever once. That's just kind of creepy and unacceptable. Exactly. It is. I just found that fucking weird. And seeing it granny, seeing that.
These mystery boxes are on super clearance right now. They're basically giving them away for free. All you have to do is
Granny, has a taste for, she has a taste for men, or she has a taste for whatever the fuck I have her, right? She has a taste for whatever I have her. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what the hell it is. And that's what scares me, right? That's what scares me. I mean, this lady did not have a preference. She didn't have a preference, man or woman, or, she went with it all. And, just saying, that's my opinion. That's my opinion. It's a sad case. I mean, this is a very, very, sad case, but, she had a lot of life in her, a lot of life in her. And I just, I wonder, did you ever hear her sing? Did you ever see her dance? Did you ever see her?
She loved doing TikTok videos with my oldest. Yep.
Did your daughter teach her a few moves?
Yep. They would sit there, watch the videos, and they would do them together. It was so cute.
Yeah, and how is True holding up through all of this?
She's doing a little bit better now with it. She tries not to talk too much about it.
It's really disturbing to her, right?
Oh yeah, it's very traumatizing.
Has True confided in you what she thought might have happened to Summer?
No, she really hasn't. We've been trying to get her to talk about it, but she's stubborn.
She's just rather out of sight, out of mind, better off, right?
Yep.
Because
we get talking about it and stuff, and poor child have a meltdown.
Right. Absolutely. I understand that. It's like when you lose a loved one, the more you go to the cemetery, the more it gets to you, right? But if you kind of try to stay away from the cemetery, you can cope with life a little better at that point, do some of the things you need to be getting done. So Absolutely. Now, did you notice she said that they don't want to talk about it, right? They don't want to talk about it. I'm going to tell you, um, I have teenagers, right? I got teenagers. You know, I've got kids. And I'm going to tell you something. Kids like to talk about everything, right? They like to talk about everything. And the only thing they don't want to talk about that I find the kids don't want to talk about is the things they should be doing, but they're not, right? Things that they should be doing, but they ain't. And the only other things I know that a child don't want to talk about is stuff I tell them not to talk about, right? When a parent tells a kid, you know, a lot of parents tell their kids, you don't talk about this, you don't talk about that, right? You just don't talk about some things. And, so she says the kid has a meltdown. I don't think so. I don't think so. Because, the way those kids are, the way Hunter and True is, trust me, they don't give a fuck about no one but themselves. And, they're way out in left field. Those two are way out in left field people. I mean, these are some fucking baby kids, right? These are some damn baby kids. They ain't gonna be having no meltdowns. So if they're not talking, it's because they've been told not to talk. That's what it is. They've been told not to talk. Trust me. That's exactly what I was thinking as well. So anyway, yeah, I was wondering, I often wondered, what kind of child Summer was. I wondered if, I kind of felt that she was she had so much energy and light in her. It's like, I don't think a house or anywhere, there was a building big enough to contain it all, I think that's why she loved to be outside. She wanted to, do all the things, run constantly because she just wanted to be free, right?
Yep, she was her own free little spirited child.
Do you think that she might have ran like that because she didn't like being around Candace and them?
Probably. I mean, that little girl she tried to be so independent.
I heard. Now, did you see Allie? Did you see her? She almost broke there. She almost broke. She said that.
Another infuriating moment. All I'm gonna say is, Per Gordon, you fucking bitch.
That little girl tried to be so independent. She tried to be so independent. Allison almost broke. She almost broke, you guys. Look at her. She's like, my God, this is so hard. This is so hard.
You love learning, but we just couldn't seem to find the right fit. When it came to school, there were
no one loved this little girl. No one cared about this little girl. Right? In my opinion, Allison was thinking, they destroyed this little girl. They destroyed her. She just was trying to survive for so long. And because of their evilness, because of Don and Candace and Grant, their evilness, this little girl, that was a true trooper, really fighting hard, really trying to not bother no one, just survive all of what was going on, got completely destroyed, right? Completely destroyed that day, June 15th, 2021. And Allison, as you can see now, I'm going to tell you, if Hunter would have just pulled up out front, got out of the vehicle, went into the house, and they would have pulled off like everyone's trying to say, right? And Allison knew nothing else about all of this, nothing else whatsoever about all of this. She wouldn't be breaking like this. She would not be breaking. She's breaking because she knows and seen some shit she didn't want to. She wants to talk. She wants to tell. She wants to cry out, but she can't.
This makes me want to turn this off. It is hard. She does this through the rest of this live. Okay? Allison, she's feeling sorry. Why would she cry? Not because she loved Summer and was with Summer a lot. Like, I'm not saying Allison's a perfect person, but she has now passed into the afterlife. So is there a reason that you can't look at facts or listen to what she was saying without insulting her or making up something that you don't know? You don't know why she had those emotions, Prayer Garden. I don't know. Nobody in this chat knows why this woman had these emotions, but you are going to take your hypocritical, lying, fucking rumor mill ass and spread gossip and make the idiots that follow you and believe your words believe what you are saying as if you're a true Christian. Again, I'm not extremely religious, but this takes me to one of my community posts, right? Like, man, I'm really congested right now. I'm sorry, guys. Let's see. We'll start here. Proverbs 16:28. A perverse person stirs up conflict, and a gossip separates close friends. Very fitting for that. Levitatius 19:16. Look, I am not that much of a Bible thumper. I don't even know how to say these. Lactavius is what I always thought it was. Do not go about spreading slander among your people. Do not do anything that endangers your neighbor's life. I am the Lord. You are endangering her children by making accusations like that, Miss Christian. Proverbs 11:13. A gossip betrays a confidence, but a trustworthy person keeps a secret. These verses encourage integrity and discourage the harm that can come from spreading rumors or gossiping.
She can't, because that would mean her son's going to get in a lot of trouble for something, in my opinion. This is my opinion. That dirty butt, middle-aged Candace's ass took him out to that swimming hole and put him up to doing, right? Conned him into doing. And you know, and he did it and regretted it, right? Did it and regretted it. He had a lot of problems. Took him a while to get over it, right? He's shaking. He's having all kinds. He even has a mental breakdown later. What am I supposed to do? Just live with this, right? Not ever tell nobody. What the hell? And he had a bunch of people come to his aid saying, shut up, shut up. Go ahead, have a breakdown. You're going to find your ass in prison, right? This is no time. This is no time to be getting stupid, right? This is all Don and Candace's problem. You know, they shouldn't involve you in it. They had you do something bad, and it, you know, and you can spend your life in prison because of it, because you had no more brains than to freaking listen to this bitch, right? Yeah, it was traumatizing, absolutely traumatizing. And for Allison to have to, you know, oh my God, help clean that child up, help get it in clothes, help get it back in that vehicle on some milk jugs to leave. That was traumatizing too. While Hunter was in his room, freaking the hell out, not knowing what to do, right? Not knowing what to do. It was traumatizing. That's my opinion. And it's traumatizing for her because she knows Summer didn't deserve, the little girl didn't deserve what happened to her at all. Didn't deserve it. Heard True say that one of the boys had went down and woke Candace up, trying to get her to help with one of the other children being mean. And Candace attacked that child. Which one of the boys was that? Do you know? I mean, was it the oldest, the middle boy, or the youngest?
It's probably the youngest.
You think it was the youngest one that went down and tried to get her up?
Yep.
Wow. And I heard that he got pretty brutalized by her.
Oh yeah, those kids got the shit beat out of them.
Whoa. Did you hear that? Those kids got the beat out of them. So Allison had all knowledge of the things happening and going down, right? You seen Candace discipline them or whip them. Did she like spin them around and smack the back part of their ass, or did she just go full force on and hit them wherever her hands landed?
Wherever her hands would land.
No matter what, huh?
No matter what.
Wow.
And that's one thing I do not believe in.
Have you ever seen her hit them hard enough to maybe knock them to the ground?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Lord. I'm going to tell you something. Now, when you smack a kid hard enough, when you hit a kid hard enough to take it off his feet, take it up off his feet to hit the ground, that's brutal. That's freaking brutal right there, you guys. That is brutality right there. These children were really getting messed up by this uneducated, ignorant ass family of adults they had around them, right? Uneducated ass Grandis, uneducated Candace, uneducated Dom Wells. A bunch of alcoholics, substance abusers, sitting around abusing the hell out of these kids. And Child Protective Services getting called many times, doing nothing to save these children, nothing to get them the hell out of there. These kids are starving. These kids are going through hellacious abuse in every form and way you could think of. And Child Protective Services don't care, right? They don't care. They don't care about the kids they should, right?
Andrew, this is where I would like you to come up for a moment again. Can you grab a link? Are you still out there? So when I said I was going to come live the other afternoon, I was going to show you guys something I've showed you several times in the past. He had to walk his wife some smokes. Oh, okay. I can ask him later. We can even do it another time. But there was a situation. We don't know what that situation was. There are rumors about that situation that included Allie's mother, a child going to the psych ward, and a trip to Utah, in my opinion. We will go over that another time. I think that would be a better time for me to even ask Andrew more educated questions, because I'd actually like to sit down and write down my questions to ask Andrew about that. I'm trying to prevent Hunter from coming online. I don't want Hunter online. Please understand that. I feel Hunter is in a situation like Danny was. Yes, Hunter's a fuck up. He was in with the gangs. He robbed a car. He hung out with the bad kids. He did whatever he wanted. Allison wasn't very disciplinary. However, she wasn't exactly hands off. Her children were in gymnastics, football, sports. She was taking her children and doing things. Was she the perfect mother? No. But Allie came from a very fucked up family herself. I have researched, guys. And if you have, you would know that too. I think a lot of speculation needs to be stopped. I think Candace and Allie didn't get along because they were both fucking drinking and doing things they should not have been doing. Do I believe that there was a situation where they were trafficking the children up north? Maybe. You can't rule that out if you're looking at it from the other perspective. But to get online and damn a dead woman like this and her children is not the way to do it. It's not going to get answers for Summer. It's going to create more drama, more speculation, and we don't need to know certain details, just like we didn't need to know them with Danny. There are things Hunter lied about. We'll go over Hunter. But in the meantime, let's try to keep Hunter, like in the days coming up, this is what I'm going to work on now. But at least for a few days, in the days coming up, We will go over more Allie, more Hunter. I may even come back tonight because I'm getting through this quicker than I thought I would, which is great because I didn't want to read all 41 of those pages. Maybe I can read some more of them later. We could do that. On top of all that, she keeps her identity hidden. Yeah. I just don't think causing more rumor and speculation is going to help. It's better if we try to untangle the speculation and rule it out. You see what I'm saying? There was a lot to Allison's family and Andrew's family. A lot. And as I said just a little bit ago, Andrew's mother, who everybody talks about and Benny put down for being gay and this, that, and the other, she has raised a few of Andrew's children. Those are the stories Andrew needs to come out and tell so that he can humanize himself and not cause more speculation. I have found some things with the James Light stuff that's crazy that might make you guys want to go dig, but I wouldn't recommend it. I'm not saying rule that out, look at all sides, but in the meantime, look at human life while you do it, how everybody lives in different situations. Prayer Garden needs to stop her shit. Like, this is awful. Go find court documents to the names you people have heard. Connect the people to the people. Don't go off of speculation and weird-ass crazy shit like this. This is disgusting in my opinion. Thank you, Chapstick. I think a lot have, but it's hard because Prayer Garden attacks, and she got like a cult over there. That's how Manson got started. Just saying. Speculating. All right, let's continue. Oh my God, we're only 55 minutes in. I mean, like, it's a whole live like this. I don't even feel we need to listen to much more of it. However, I want to get to the part. There is one part I want to get to because if Andrew gets back, I'd like to question him, or we can even do that. How long have I been on? Because I could spread this out and make it. I could cut it right where we're at. I could save. I don't know how to save. Other people do. How do you do that? I don't know how to save it at the spot I left off at. I'll say it here, 55:58. Somebody put it in my comment section so I can come back to that because I've already been on 2 hours. I'm sure the TBI has checked PG out and knows where she lives. I hope so, Running Bear. I mean, it's just a lot to go over. If people want to go over Allison, I think it needs to be done with integrity. I think that it needs to be done in a kind way. She has small children and nieces that are involved in this. Nobody ever thinks about the children when they cover these cases. Hold on, I need water. I got a frog in my throat. Ooh. Yeah, I'm going to take a break. My husband got to get up at 2. My daughter's still sleeping. Her and her boyfriend are sick. I did 2 hours of this. I think I got a lot across. I showed you some other stuff that I found concerning the lights. I don't think I'm going to cover that right now. We can go over that. Just continue to remind me when we get out of this Allison stuff because I'm not going to let this happen. I brought some stuff out the other day with Unmasked, and then, I don't know, I feel like that caused PG to go pull out interviews that never should have been gone in the first place. Crystal, can you grab audios and go over them? It has Allison. Oh, yeah, I have yours. Sorry. I have them. They're very hard to hear. I've always meant to go try to clean them up. I don't know that I can. I was actually even thinking about yours and Lips, sending them, like, going to, like, what is it, Fiverr or something, and paying somebody to clean them up for me. But I'm not going to do that. But yes, we can go over those. I have those, and I was going to get to those. All right. Yeah, I'm going to get off for now. I think I showed you guys a lot already. This was pretty jam-packed. And we ain't even gotten started. So there's 41 pages to that indictment. I think I read 6. I'll read 6 more when I come back. How about that? Because it's a lot. And then I'm going to hold off on the James Light stuff because I don't want to confuse it. Okay? You know, I always think it's Ohio. Everybody has their theories. Beautiful chaos. You can write me, though. I know who you are. No indictment for... it was for Mark Ajan, George, and people named in it as George Simpson. Who else? I can't think. You guys remind me who was here at the beginning of my life. George Bowers, which is in relation to Kathy Gordon, Ziggy's main mod and best friend who housed Fred. I feel it's very important. And I feel it may tie into the James Light stuff, to be honest with you. And it's also the second tie and connection in court publicly with this man's name, because there's another one. Oh, I didn't hear nothing about that, Mama Bear. I don't know what you're talking about. All right, guys, but I'm really congested right now. I have to go take care of this. I have to go blow my nose and do some Flonase and all the fun stuff. We'll talk about it later. Just remind me. I can come live again today. My husband's off. I have all day. I just got to take care of some stuff around the house I was going to do. But you guys always get me in the chat. And I just want to read and see what your guys' thoughts are. Not a good day. I'll be back, Mama Bear. Give me a few hours. Because we have a lot to go over concerning this. And I want to go over the rest of this live. It's important. She just pissed me off, so I think it's a good stopping point for now. All right. Peace and love. I'll see you guys in a little bit. Bye.